left-hand exercises and different things to practice. You know, we've already done a lot of single note kind of exercises and things where, you know, you're using different combinations of different fingers. Now let's look at some more specific type of techniques and things that we can do. Double stops are basically reharmonized major scales and minor scales, and we use them in music quite a bit. And to get that technique, you know, just practicing them as major scales or as scales themselves. And what I'm going to do is, you know, before I start showing you this, I want to let you know that the top two strings, the B and the E string, I'm going to be using on my right hand is going to be clawing them with the second and third finger. And that's pretty much the technique I'm going to use to kind of go through some of this stuff. Let's take a scale in E major. And if you look at the E note starting on the 5th fret on the second string, that's going to be the root note. And I'm going to harmonize this in thirds, which would be major thirds and minor thirds. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the E note with my second finger, I'm playing the G sharp note with my first finger. And this is something that's important to note too, just make a little mental note about. That's a major shape on those two strings. I mean, you just kind of commit that to memory. That is major. So every time you have a major kind of shape, that will give you the major sound you're looking for. Whereas a minor sound is going to be like 2 frets apart, that kind of thing. So a major is like, you know, 1 fret difference, and 2 fret difference there. Alright, but let's go over the E major scale. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play E, right, F sharp, G sharp, then A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So I'm going up a whole octave there, and now basically that's what to me partially is one way that double stopping kind of came about, is reharmonization of the major scale. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger and start on G sharp. Now at this point we're actually still playing the E major scale up the neck, but now we're going to play two parts. So we're going to play the E and the G sharp. What I've done is I've moved my G sharp to A and my third finger to F sharp. Then we're going to go G sharp to B. Then we're going to go to A note to C sharp. You know, a lot of tunes that you hear this kind of stuff in is you know, the old cowboy stuff. You know, Marty Robbins and all that kind of thing. So this is an E scale. Continuing on up, we're going to go to the B note at the 12th fret, and we're going to go to D sharp at the 11th on the high E string. Then we're going to go to the C sharp note with the third finger, and then my first finger will play the root note E on the top string. Then we're going to move that shape up, and that's going to be D sharp and F sharp back to E. So that's a good exercise on those two strings to kind of practice going through. different kind of double stops, shapes. And then I guess another exercise to kind of use that with is to practice kind of like you might practice a scale using a sequence. What I'm doing there is I'm going up 3, and then going back 1, up 3, which would be like a sequence of thirds. Now I just put a half-step slide into that E there, just to make it sound kind of cool. And that's just kind of, that just gives it more, instead of just sounding like a major scale, it just makes it sound more like a, kind of musical, So, so I'm going from E to the A note and the F sharp note, but I'm going from a half step down, slide. And here I'm going to slide into the next position. It gives me some of those kind of country sounds or kind of bluesy sounds. And the thought process there is of just basically wherever I have the finger position, like the second to first, I can come down from like 2 half steps down. Obviously here is the minor with a little chromaticism in there. Right, and then the major. So that's kind of cool stuff.